Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to Be My Guest. Today we have from Douglas, we have Becky Kalagher, and she is a member of the Baystate Trail Riders. Welcome, Becky.
Hi, Jan. Thank you for...
I read about you. Oh, where was it? The Trail Riders in... Where was it? It was at the Blackstone Valley Express?
It could have been the Express, the Tribune. We regularly submit articles to both of them.
The horses, just to pick, she put together a beautiful panorama of, especially like accomplishments in 2019. In 2020, you didn't do it because of the COVID, right?
We could not get to Equine Fair, correct.
Okay.
We did have accomplishments, but I didn't tie it together into a nice presentation like this.
This is beautiful. You made it all yourself. And I don't know what, doing the show, we'll see if we can zero in on some of it because it's got a beautiful black background. And all these horses, are one of those horses, it has to be yours, right?
Possibly. It's been a while since I looked at the picture, so I don't know which one's me or not. So I try to get a variety of everybody.
Yeah.
So it represents the different rides that we put on. Our rides that we put on are to raise money to keep our organization going. Mm-hmm. And some of the rides are specifically targeted to raising money for trail projects. So 100% of the funds that we raise on those trail rides go to trail projects.
How long has it been in existence? When did it get founded?
I incorporated in 1973.
Wow.
So probably a year or two before that, 72, I think they started getting together, but incorporated in 1973. So we've been around a while.
So when you trailblaze, what's your territory? Where do you go?
We have rides all over Massachusetts. We've had rides in Connecticut. We've had rides in Rhode Island. So we're always looking for places. We utilize a lot of the Department of Conservation and Recreation's properties.
Yeah.
DCR for short. So Upton State Forest is one of them.
Yeah. I was just going to say, do you go there?
Yes, we do. Actually, October 31st, we're having our big pumpkin ride there.
You're going to have a pumpkin ride.
A big
the horses
pumpkin.
are going to pull the hay wagon?
Nope, the riders come with their horses, and we encourage everyone to dress up in costume.
Oh, fantastic.
So a few years back, I was actually the headless horseman.
Oh, that's appropriate.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Did you carry the head?
I had a little pumpkin head that I could put on the side of my saddle while I was out riding. Oh. And I had a black mask over my face, and then I had a cape on top of my helmet, so it looked like I didn't have a head. And when we were riding our course, and we went some on the street, and we had some people out walking dogs, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
So they were like totally impressed.
Here in Upton?
Yes.
Oh my God! So you're going to be? When are you going to be at the forest, the state forest?
October 31st. Actually, Halloween. It actually falls on Halloween this year.
What time are you going to start?
9:30 is check-in and ride out at 10 o'clock.
At night? Right.
No, in the morning.
In the
morning. Yeah. We haven't had a moonlight ride in ages.
This is cool because then the parents with the kids will be able to do it in the morning with you folks. Watch it happen, or do they ride?
Oh yeah, anyone that's hiking in the Upton State Forest, out walking with their dogs, or just walking out hiking, they'll see us riding by in our costume.
Okay, and then that frees them up for the night afterwards to go out trick or treating.
I'm sure.
Do you have kids, Becky?
I have a stepson.
All right. How old is he?
He's 52 now.
52.
Yes.
Oh my God, you must have been, what, 10 when you got started?
No.
Very young. You are really young.
No, I'm 60.
What's the name of your horse?
I have two horses. One is Junior and the other one is Shaylee. And I raised both of them. They were born on my property.
They were born on your property?
Yes, they were.
And Becky was telling me that she got her first horse over near the Grafton Flea Market. What's the name of that place?
Ridge Valley Stables.
Is it still the same?
Yes.
And that's how many years ago did you get your first horse?
1980.
1980?
Yes.
How long do horses live?
If they can stay in good health, they can get into their 30s, no problem.
How old are your horses?
19 and 22.
19 and 22.
Yep.
So they're millennials.
Yes, they're old enough to vote.
You have millennial horses. How many people are Trailblazer, the Trailblazers?
Trail riders.
Yeah.
We have, I'd say, like 270 names on our membership list right now.
Yeah.
A good portion of those are family memberships, so you'd have to add the extras in for that. But we're spread all across the state. We're very involved with partnering with state landowning agencies, federal, like the Army Corps of Engineers, towns, and land trusts.
Wow.
So we like to work with them. It's like trying to be a win-win situation. We want to improve the trails. Any trails that allow horseback riding, we will work to improve. In Massachusetts, we don't have any trails that are specifically for horses only. So any of the trails that we work on to improve,
Yeah.
it improves it for everyone else that's using them too. So if it's people that go hiking, mountain bikers, so they benefit from our work too.
How about on Cape Cod? I know there's a rail trail. Well, I used to ride my bike along that. Did they ever go up there?
I've been up there once,
Yeah.
but I was on it with a bike camping. I've never been on it horseback riding.
We're around here, so we're now in Upton. If people are not from around here, I'll stay out of the country. But we're not far from Worcester and Boston. What are some of the favorite trails around that you ride the horses on in the group? Anything in particular?
I can tell you where we have a lot of our organized rides. Our organized rides, we've quite a few in the Douglas State Forest, Upton State Forest. We just had a ride yesterday at in Hubbardston, Mount Jefferson property. So that's a combination of town-owned land in Hubbardston plus the Hubbardston State Forest because we
Yeah.
went into there. We're going to Wilbraham
I grew
next
up there.
weekend
I grew up
at
there.
McDonald's Farm.
Where are you going to be there?
McDonald's Farm.
Oh my God!
We're riding out of there.
What street is that off of?
I would have to
I
go
bet
look
it's
that
Mountain
up.
Road.
I have to go look that up.
I grew up in Wilbraham.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so we're
Yeah.
We're playing there next weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend after that, we're at Hodges Village Dam in Oxford. So we park at town-owned property, Greenbrier Recreation Area,
Yeah.
and then we ride the trails at Hodges Village Dam. So we've actually had 3 rides out of there this year. We've had rides down in Rhode Island, out of Pasco State Forest. It's actually George Washington Management area too. Connecticut, that was a while ago. I don't remember those. We've gone up to Winchendon and Royalston area, which covers Birch Hill Dam, Lake Denison. So yeah, we get around.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. If somebody would like to find out more about the riders, how would they reach you?
Our website has a lot of information on it. It's www.bstra.org. My email address is bstra@charter.net. If you check out our website, you can see the projects that we've done every year. I've got it listed by year. Year to date, right now, we're well over $650,000 that we've put back into trails. So we're an organization that we don't take our use of the trails for granted.
Mm-hmm.
We want to give back and we want to become partners.
Right.
It makes a better working relationship.
Yeah.
Since we've been doing trail work, we've actually impacted and improved trails in 36 towns in Massachusetts, 2 towns in Connecticut, and 3 towns in Rhode Island.
That's a lot.
So
When you add all of that up, how much in all? I'm not quick on the math. How many in all do you think you have trails?
it's
So it's huge.
yeah, it's a lot.
Do you
It's
have
what
to
the
know
trail
how to ride a
systems.
horse to do it? Because I would be one of the real amateurs.
Anyone that wants, my suggestion for anybody that wants to start riding would be, your best bet would be to take lessons first.
Okay.
That will give you the groundwork that you need to safely ride. And then if you still have the horse bug,
Yeah.
that's what I call it, or I call it also, I inherited the genes from my mother, then you get the next step, whether maybe you want to do a partial lease or go full out and buy a horse.
All ages?
All ages. Yep. We're trying to encourage the younger kids,
Yeah.
17 and under, so much so that our ride fees that we charge for our rides, we do not charge 17 and under. They get to ride and eat free.
Wow.
Because,
Ooh.
well, if you're raising children,
Yeah.
and if you're into horseback riding and stuff like that, you're spending a lot of money raising your children and stuff like that, and we're trying to encourage and make it easier to get the next generation involved.
That is
We
fantastic.
have to have a succession to carry the torch.
How do you get, besides your website and the article I saw, how are you getting the word out more, besides coming on television too? This is great. How are you getting it out there?
We have a monthly newsletter that goes out to our members,
Okay.
and I also have a PR list. So any landowning agencies that we have relationships with, and we also work with the Blackstone Valley chapter of New England Mountain Bike Association. We've partnered with them on trail work days, so they get our newsletters, and we collaborate back and forth. We have a Facebook page, so that keeps us updated. I am not savvy enough for the Instagram, or
Yeah,
I haven't got into any of that stuff yet. I'm
Nothing
okay with
more.
Facebook, so.
I know, though this is a great. Paul, can you in any way zero in on any of the little the pictures she has there? We'll see. And I
Want
want
me to move this forward? Nope.
stay right there where you are.
All
She
right.
put together accomplishments in 2019 with the trail riders, and I see Upton, and then I see Feeding Hills,
Yep.
Douglas, Carver. Oh, what's it? That Edaville Railroad and Carver,
That would be the Miles Standish State Forest, I'm sure.
and then Oxford isn't far from here.
Yep. So actually in 2019, in Upton, Park Road, if you do a lot of hiking, Park Road is the main road that goes up. Actually, the picture shows the elevation there, that little side picture of the elevation on that particular road. And because of that elevation, huge washouts. That road was so bad. That was a joint project with DCR, is their partnership award program,
Yeah.
to improve that particular road, which was a little bit over a mile long, to get it all done. And that was, we put in $27,000 and DCR put in $52,000 to get that fixed. That was a huge project.
Did they tell you ahead of time, or were you on a riding a trail and saw it just completely out of whack?
It just year after year after year, we just saw it slowly degrading.
Yeah.
And to the point that this needed to be a major project to get it fixed.
Do you have to own a horse to participate?
Unless you have to find someone that has extra horses to go riding with,
You'll have to.
because we don't rent out horses.
Right.
I do get a lot of calls and inquiries and emails like, "Oh, you rent horses?" I'm like, "No, we
Ooh.
don't. I'm sorry."
I'm hearing more and more about therapy for people, for children especially, with horses. What if you are you into that at all with the group?
We've had over the years a couple of events to raise money for a particular therapeutic group. I know way back when we used to run a Gymkhana series in Blackstone, Mass. And we had one of the shows that the money that we raised from that was to go to a therapeutic group. And they actually that day brought some of the kids that rode in this program, and they participated in the event. It was pretty cool.
I hear it's supposed to be wonderful.
Yes.
It sounds awfully good to me too, just to get on it. I'm more of an observer, but now I kind of want to take part in it.
Yeah.
Where around here would you suggest that people go for lessons?
Let me think. I know there's some places in Douglas, Uxbridge. It depends on what you want to get into, what type of style of riding. Cause
Just general
learning how to
put.
ride.
Yeah.
I know that Azrael Acres, there's Chenero Stables in Douglas, and there's
Just kind of
some in
follow.
Sutton. There's some in Sutton too.
Yeah.
But that's easy enough to, look up online and
Find out.
find out, yeah.
How much does it cost for people to join the trail riders?
Membership for a single is $25. Family membership is $35. We also offer liability insurance, which is a fabulous deal because you can have $1 million worth of liability insurance for a single person, another $20. You're not going to get that through any other insurance company. And for $40 for a family.
We're talking with Becky Kalagher, and she is a member of the Baystate Trail Riders. Becky, again, how can they get in touch with you?
Again, at our website, www.bstra.org. Email is bstra@charter.net. We're also on Facebook, so if you look up Baystate Trail Riders Association on Facebook, you'll find our page there. If you're interested in working with horses, volunteering for trail work, for our events, we would love to have you. So
What are some of those events? Tell me about those.
I mentioned some of the ones that we have coming up. What have we got? So after the Big Pumpkin, we've got the Turkey Trot Ride at Miles Standish State Forest in Carver, Mass.
Yeah.
So we ride the trails, and while we're gone, Rose hides paper plates with turkeys on them.
Yeah.
So it's a limited area, and we're on horseback, and we have to look for the turkeys. So if you find the turkey, you get a $20 gift certificate to Stop and Shop. We used to actually give out frozen turkeys, but it's so much easier now with a gift certificate. So.
Oh, it's for the people in the trail riders.
Yep, that are that have joined us for the ride. And it could be non-members too, so because we have non-member prices, we encourage non-members to come on our rides too.
Do you always start in the morning? Those of us who are not morning people, really?
Yes, we do.
You do. Okay,
Yes.
I can get up.
It's been years since we've had a moonlight ride. We did have a moonlight ride once eons ago, which was kind of cool, but I think we've only done that once.
How many people do you think in a general ride, are participating? And how long is it?
It depends on what it can be anywhere from 5 miles to 10-ish, 12-ish.
So that would be...
It all depends on how fast you ride it. If it rained before the ride and the ground's a little soft and wet, you're going to take your time a little bit more.
Sure.
So
You don't have to keep up with someone ahead of you?
No, we don't. It's not unless your horse wants to, like mine. She does. She's a competitive horse. She sees a horse in front of her. I got to pass that horse. I mean, no, you don't.
Yeah.
But we mark our rides. So it's marked to tell you where the turns are. So you just follow the markers, and so you can go out at your own pace.
Oh, I thought you all had to stay in a line.
No, we call those lead rides. We haven't done lead rides in a really long time. Only because, again, you've got my 2 horses,
Yeah.
even when they're just walking, because they're Tennessee walkers, will walk the pants off of most of the other horses.
Yeah.
So you've got people saying some people walk fast, some people walk slow. So you've got people up here, you got people lagging behind here. So it's tough to do a lead ride.
Well, now you have 2 horses, right?
Yes.
How do you know which one you're going to take that day? Is it kind of one back and forth, or how do you do that?
Well, if my friend's riding with me, I've got her on one of them, so I'm riding on the other one.
And
So-
they're all ages. How young are the kids?
I'm trying to think. Over the years, we've had some that have been pretty young. I'd say 5 or 6 years old.
And they can handle a horse all by themselves?
Well, they were on little ponies. One was on a pony, so that was kind of being led by Mom, or actually it was grandmother. Another one that actually started out riding in the saddle behind Mom, and as she got older, which was probably a good thing because the little one actually had a better sense of direction than Mom. So some people get lost really easily. So even just following markers and stuff like that, they not a good sense of direction. But it was kind of funny that the little one had a really good sense of direction.
I was wondering if you're taking your little one with you. I mean, can they ride? They can ride with you, right? If they're little enough, or young enough.
Yeah.
So there's a saddle behind you, or that you just
Well,
kind of
it depends. It could be in the front, or they make a little thing that goes right behind the saddle that they can sit there too.
Sounds like a motorcycle almost.
Kind
A
of.
little bit behind it. This is fascinating. What about volunteers you mentioned?
Oh, volunteers for helping out at rides, people that like the Judge Pleasure, the ride that I'm running. I need people to judge obstacles. People to register them when they come in, sign them in, give them their numbers and the paperwork and tell them what's going to go on. Parking, taking care of food, serving food and getting that set out because we include lunches with our rides.
After when you get back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So it's a social hour too.
Yeah.
So you have your ride, you have your fun, and then you come back and we sit down and we eat, and we're sitting there jabbing for another hour and a half, anyways, with everyone too. So
Yeah, is it the volunteers that set up the trail markers?
yes.
Boy, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
And is that hard to find someone to do that, or is that pretty? You have people?
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. That Lee McGinnis, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to pull that ride off, because I'm not going to be there that day because my husband's having surgery that week, have a knee replacement, so he's going to be coming home from the hospital. I'm like, so I've had enough people that stepped up
Yeah.
to help out. So I'll be there for a little bit in the morning to get everything ready and dropped off, and
Up
then
in Upton or where?
this is in Oxford.
Okay.
So then I'll hand the reins off.
Yeah, you know, it seems to me every time I turn around, somebody's having hip surgery. It's sort of like
Yeah.
I don't want to say a pandemic, but it makes you wonder what happened to a lot of. It just makes you wonder.
We've had quite a few members that have had hip replacements and stuff like that, and they're back out riding.
We have a neighbor in his 90s, I believe. What a trooper! Had it out walking around. He's fine.
Yep.
He's fine. And it's what do you do if you sense if your horse is not doing well during it, or is, I don't know, is sick or doesn't feel good? Do you ever notice that or not?
Yeah, then you're not bringing it. Or if it's lose a shoe. Give me out the riding and lose a shoe. I've got easy boot now I got easy boots for both horses, but I only had easy boot for one.
Yeah.
And so we can put that on to replace the shoe so that it doesn't mess up the hoof.
Yeah. Does it hurt them when the shoe comes off?
No, but they could get tender-footed
Yeah.
walking on rocks if it's really rough terrain and
How
stuff like
old is
that.
the oldest horse in the trail riders?
That's still being ridden? That's a good question. I honestly don't know that. I don't know. We don't have an adult and senior division for the horses, so I've never asked for their age.
What's the oldest individual person who is in the trail riders?
Let's see. We have some in our 80s.
80s, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And
just
definitely
knows what she's doing?
quite a few members that are 70s that are still riding all over the place. They're
Yeah.
still riding, and they are still going out helping on trail work days.
If it's raining that day, that morning, then what?
It depends. If it's a light rain and it's not that bad, we have rain gear. We have rain gear that we can put on. I've got an Outback coat that, comes down to here.
Yeah.
And that covers me, covers my saddle.
You said your mom was into the horses. All your life, that's how you were raised, around the horses?
Well, she had a horse when she was growing up. She grew up on a dairy farm in Ohio. And at that time, a horse wasn't considered practical. It wasn't generating income for the farm and stuff like that. So she did have a horse for a little while. But there was no horses when I was growing up,
Yeah.
even though I tried to talk my mom into getting one.
Yeah.
But we used to go out to Ohio every year, and my great aunt Vicky had horses, and I couldn't wait till I was old enough to finally ride them. And I was so disappointed. We went out there one year, and she had gotten rid of them because she didn't ride them anymore. But she gave me her English riding boots that
Yeah.
I saved and cherished. So
Is English, it's riding side saddle, right?
way back in the day, they may have called that English. Don't quote me on that, but it is side saddle. So English it's a type of saddle it's very lightweight, as opposed to a Western saddle. And the different purposes, like Western saddles evolved for cattle work, ranch work. So you need something heavy duty if you could go out there, you roping calves that have to be branded or get medication or whatever. So you needed something that could stay on the horse when or wild horses if you're roping. So there's a utilitarian purpose for either one.
Yeah. I was sharing with Becky that on Route 140 out here in the Upton area, there's a place that's where you got your first horse. But for a couple of years, I'd drive by and I'd see this. I found out it's called Mini Horse. It's a cute little thing out there, all by itself, really cute. And I always was wondering about it, so I stopped by and I talked with, I don't know if it was the owner or someone who knew the owner of the horse. But I was told that she had an attitude, that horse. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This happens, right?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, there's some horses that are cranky, just like people are cranky, and others that are absolute sweethearts, and so
Yeah.
they have their personalities. Some are playful. I've got a friend, my best friend has a horse that's a character, wicked playful. Another friend, that's a horse's same thing. They like to play. They're playful little things in it, and one of them is 25.
Ooh.
Actually, that horse is at my place with a 19-year-old, and I had to separate them because they play too hard. I had to literally put them in their own corners.
That is
So.
pretty cool. We've got about 4 minutes left. I'm just trying to think. They're not. It's not a competitive. The trail riders. It's not a competitive thing. You just sign up to do it, right? And,
Well, we have pleasure rides,
Yeah.
and then we have what we call competitive rides, runs that you could get ribbons at. So the poker run is a pleasure ride, but it's competitive because you're playing poker. So best hand gets first place and down the line.
Sure.
You get a card before you go out. You pick up 3 cards, different cards out on the trail, and then you get your last card when you come in. We have our hunter pace. That's competitive. So there's a marked course through the woods. We set up jumps. Jumps are optional. You don't have to take them. And then you have to get the closest to the pace time. You don't know what the length of the ride is, and you don't know what the pace time is. So, and you have divisions. So Hunter division is the fastest division. Hilltop is middle of the road. Trailblazer is the taking your time sightseeing division. So you ride whatever division you think your horse should be in.
Yeah.
I know mine is fast, so I'm always in the Hunter division. She likes to go. And then you take the course, take your jumps. If you want to ride, do the jumps, and we time you when you go out, time you when you come in, and we enter your times, and we figure out what all the times are, then who's closest to the target time.
Oh.
And whoever's the closest gets first place.
What happens if the people or person ahead of you is slower and your horse is ready to roll? I mean, is on its roll. What happens then?
If you want to pass, you have to pass safely.
Yeah.
So you slow down. If you're cantering, you need to slow down to a trot.
Yeah.
Holler ahead, is it okay to pass?
Okay.
And dictate, your actions are then dictated by the answer of that person. So hopefully that person will pull over a little bit, get out of your way, and then you can continue on. And even when we're having our rides, there'll be people out there in the forest using the forest on the trail, so we have to slow down for them too. You don't want to go running by them because it's not safe.
Yeah.
And if they're out there walking with their dogs or the kids and stuff like that.
How many years have you been with your horses?
I've had horses. I got my first horse in 1980.
Wow.
And all through high school, I used to ride horses, other people's horses, and sneak through the woods to get to Meshaw's stables in Ashburnham, so I could ride there.
I'm learning a lot. I mean, I never knew the trail riders existed until I read that article. And then, Becky, did I contact you directly, or was it identified a general on your website? I forgot which it was.
I think you got in touch with me directly.
Yeah, probably I looked up director. Are you the director of it?
President, yes.
The president.
Yes.
Very good. And the positions are up for grabs once a year or something? Is that it?
We do have elections once a year.
Yeah.
Nobody has. I keep asking everyone every year if anyone wants to be president, but no one else has
Nobody steps up.
stepped up yet. So
I think that's kind of true in a lot of groups. I don't know
yeah,
why.
it's tough. I need to be grooming and getting someone else interested in this to carry the torch.
Exactly. Well, you've got a life too, outside of horses, so you got to be able to. Thank you, Becky, for being with us.
Thank you, Jan. I appreciate you taking the time to finally get me here.
We'll see you next time and be my guest.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems.